let's proceed. I started the component. I think the video paused midway and I'm so lazy I cannot start all over afresh, so I'll just continue from here. So there are components we're going to need. We'll first think of the whole project in blocks. There is the 3D modeling, and then the keys and the product design, and then there's a power supply, and then there's electronics, and then there is the coding. So now we're doing the power supply. The power supply will have three batteries. We can use two, we can use one, we can, right? But we have two ultrasonic sensors, and those guys drain a lot of energy. And we are going to use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth because of our mobile app. And those those drain batteries. So three batteries is cool. Three batteries are cool. Three batteries is cool. Right. And then we have a battery holder. Our battery, if we are going to buy a four slot battery holder, then we are going to buy four batteries. So it depends on the battery holder we buy. We can edit anytime. The battery holder we need, and then the battery charger. If you buy a battery, you have to charge it. So that's what we're looking at now. And I think we just go with the 25 cities from Rich Tech World. Yep, so this is a battery charger. It's 25 cities and it's a Type C. It has current protection, so when the current exceeds a limit or the voltage, when the battery is full, it stops working and then protects the battery. And this is a step up booster. You need a boost converter, but typically not one like this. Because this one is directly from here out. We need a boost converter. We might. Let's see. So we that would be part of the power. So still on the power. Let's look at what's wrong with you. Let's look at the ultrasonic sensor. This is the ultrasonic sensor. And yeah, so this is ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor, this is how it looks like. It looks like this thing with two eyes. The ultrasonic sensor is a device that will be measuring our distances. So that will be using to know how close the car is to the wall or an obstacle. So we'll have to know the distance it can measure. Let's read a little on it. Beginner friendly sensor frequency. Okay. Right. So wiring connections. This is what we need. So see it has four pins. It has a VCC, a ground, a trick, and an echo. What we need to keep in mind is the ESP32 we're using, right? We are using an ESP32. ESP32s work with the 3.3 volt logic. That means that when you are talking to the ESP32, you'd have to talk with 3.3 volts, like the volume of your speech should be 3.3 volts. Anything above that will be noise to the ESP32. You can think of it as somebody giving you the speed at which you are supposed to talk to them or the volume at which you are supposed to talk to them. So anything above that becomes noise. They cannot hear you, they cannot understand you, and then you might damage their ears. Same with the ESP32. It's a 3.3 volts logic device, so it works with 3.3 volts. And our sensor here works with 5 volts. So those guys cannot communicate. Let's see if the ESP, the ultrasonic sensor voltage. If the voltage range is from 3, then we are safe. But from all that I've seen, they are all 5. The operating voltage for most standard ultrasonic sensors like that, and that's what we're using. The HCS R04 ranges from 5 volts DC. However, most variant sensors, HC, such as the HC CR04 3.3 volts, support wider range. Okay, so some you see it's here, compatible with both ESP32 into bracket Raspberry Pi and ESP32. So ESP32 and Raspberry Pi work at 3 volts, and the Arduino works at 5 volts. We are working with an ESP32, so we should know the voltages we work with. So there's a standard HCS04 which is 5. If connecting the 5 volts echo pin to a 3, avoid the so you are going to use a voltage divider if you are going to do that. And then there are ones that use the 2.2 volts, right? So typically the ones that we are going to see on these sites are going to be the 5 volt ones. Let's see. Yep, you see it's a 5 volt ultrasonic sensor. So we will mostly get the SR04, which is a 5 volts ultrasonic sensor. So we have to maybe use the voltage divider, so ultrasonic. How many of the ultrasonic sensors do we need? We need 2 of the ultrasonic sensors. Yeah, 18 series. The 5. What else are we gonna need? LCD. I think they asked for a 16 by 2 LCD. We need one of that. LCD screen. So this is a 16 by 2. It's 45 series. Let me see 16 by 4. LCD. And now 20 by 4. Yep. Then we use that, and then what else? 6. What other device do we components do we need? I think there's a buzzer. We need one buzzer. How much is the buzzer? How much is the LCD? That's 5 series. With the buzzer. We need the S3 series. 3 series. And then we need jumper wires. We need Type C USB ports. And I don't know where we are going to get a Type C USB port, but we are going to need Type C USB ports for the connection to the. We are going to need 2. I don't know where we are gonna get some the 8 going to do. We are going to need a pref board. Pref board. Pref board. Perforated. Perf board. We're going to need a perf board. The perf board. The perf board is stencils. Just one. Need one perf board. We can use an ESP ticket. We are going to need 9 ESP 32. Were we asked to use a 32 or a 32C3 or an 8266? For now, let's leave it on ESP 32. Typically 150, 160, 150, let's say 150. What else? We need connectors like wires. We need wires, we need wires, we need wires. We might still need to buy those wires. We won't buy those wires. What else do we need? Well, you most likely wouldn't be able to, think about everything you need, because some stuff will come up as you build. So we'll give room for that. There is 3D printing. There's 3D there's 3D printing. What else are we going to need? I think that'll be all. The 3D printing is probably, let's say we spend, say, 100 cities on the 3D printing. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 60 cities on the 3D printing. The OLED, LEDs. We need some LEDs. We need, I think in our design, we are going to need 6 LEDs. 12 LEDs because on 2 sides, so 6 LEDs as well. 12 LEDs. The 5mm LEDs. 5mm LEDs are 30 pesos. So 30 pesos times 12. That's 3.6. That's 360 pesos. 360 pesos for 12 LEDs. What else are we going to need? The LEDs, wires to connect the LEDs. We are going to need male and female headers. Male and female headers. So let me just do male headers. And then 12 female headers. Let's say 2 for each, 2 of each. Times 2. I don't know the price, let me check. Male headers. Male headers. Male headers are 4 seconds. That's 8 seconds. And then female headers are 5 seconds, so that's 10 seconds. That's all. We won't buy jumper wise. We won't buy jumper wise. We won't buy a breadboard either. I think this is all we need. So let's see a calculator. If we're adding everything, we have 25 plus 18. 25 alone is 100. So 100 plus 18 plus 25 plus 18 plus 45 plus 3. Let's say that pots let's say the pots are, let's say 10 cedis, so 20 cedis plus the fitted was 10 cedis plus SP 32 plus LEDs 3.6 plus the also this 18 plus 60. Well, that's very close to 500 cedis. And we are 10 in the group, so that's like 50 cedis per person. I think we should pay 50 cedis. Because, and this is not everything, we are definitely missing something. We definitely miss something. That's something that we only find out when we start building. So we are definitely missing something. And then with the 60 clear, with 60 cedis of 3D printing, we print triple dimensions, print for 1 cedi 50 pesos per gram. So if you have 60 grams, if you have 60 cedis, 60 divided by 1 cedi 50 pesos. That's 30. No, 60. If it was for 40, so we get 40 grams to print with. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So yep, we probably going to pay 50 cedis each. We can bring the cost down by taking some of the batteries out. Can use, we don't even have a boost converter there, and we are going to need a boost converter and even cash. So we are going to need a boost converter. So basically 500 cedis. 500 cedis is cool. Let's set our target to 500 cedis. Let's make sure we don't exceed it. Let's just put it there. So anything about that, we just cut costs to bring it down. Yep, we can just cut costs to bring it down. Yep, so we can, you can Google about on these components too and what we use them for. But for now, this is what I think we need. I didn't even okay. And there are some things I'll come by. I love the way so 50 cedis is cool. So 50 cedis per person. Do I have 50 cedis? Well, I can make 50 cedis. 50 cedis. Law. That's a lot of money.